Let's now cut across to the Prime Minister who is interacting with Agniveers. So, Prime Minister Modi interacting with the Agniveers today. It's a very, very important address of the Prime Minister that's about to begin very shortly, because this was a scheme that had been mocked and ridiculed by the opposition when it was introduced by the government. Despite the overwhelming response that it received, the opposition had been mocking the Agniveer scheme by the central government as well as those who had applied for it. There was a lot of criticism that had come in for this scheme being introduced, but there was an overwhelming response from the people of the country. Now the Prime Minister interacting with the Agniveers. My colleague Mohit Bhatt joining us over the phone line with the details. Mohit, the Prime Minister is interacting with the Agniveers, and this is extremely important because this was a scheme that had garnered a lot of controversy, not because of the scheme itself, but because of the criticism that the opposition had for it.
Well, yes, in fact, Prime Minister will be interacting with Agniveers in some time. And you see, this interaction is very, very important given the fact that it comes at a time when there are various questions specifically being raised for the Congress party and the opposition on the Agniveers scheme, saying that after 4 years, these Agniveers will not be of any use, and the BJP and the government is trying to play with the future of the armed forces. So this interaction comes at a time when PM will talk with all these Agniveers and also give out their support and confidence to them that what exactly is the scheme about, and many of the misconceptions will also be cleared by the Prime Minister in this particular meeting, because the government has said that they need young armed force in the country, and after 4 years, these Agniveers will also be given money, and after the 4 years, they've also be given preference in various other courses, various other jobs, because it's an important course that these Agniveers will be going through. So the first batch of Agniveers will interact with the Prime Minister, and also we have seen that a whole lot of politics have going on this particular issue, where the opposition has been saying this, that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the government, they have completely politicized the army, and after 4 years, these Agniveers will not be used of any country. So at that particular time, when PM will himself come out and will talk to the Agniveers, this will be, send out a message to all the doubters, and also will create a confidence in the minds of all these Agniveers who in some time from now will be ready to fight for the country. So the interaction will come up in some time. We have to wait and watch what exactly the Prime Minister will say.
That's right. So the Prime Minister's message to the Agniveers who were selected is going to be very, very significant, Mohit, like you mentioned, because we remember the kind of criticism that had come in from the scheme, even though there was a very overwhelming response for the scheme itself from across the country, with an overwhelming amount of people applying for the Agniveers scheme. The opposition had been claiming that this is not just going to ruin the future of the youths who are applying for it, but also for the Indian Army it's going to be extremely detrimental.
Well, yes, in fact, you see, there have been questions raised on the Agniveer scheme, saying that it is in compromise with the future of the armed forces, with the future of the country. But we also need to understand that this particular Agniveer scheme was put forward by the army itself. We have seen various senior officials from the army come out and talk about the Agniveer scheme. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi will himself interact with all these.
We'll just request you to stay on with us, Mohit. Mr. Majid Memon of the TMC on the broadcast with us. Mr. Majid Memon, the Prime Minister interacting with the Agniveers, a lot of criticism had come in from the opposition leaders. Now, not just has there been a huge response for the scheme itself with people applying, but the Prime Minister himself now interacting with them. What are you expecting in this meeting?
Well, this kind of sudden declaration of providing a handful of jobs, 50,000, 60,000 jobs, etc., is no answer to the promise that was given by the Prime Minister himself way back, that he would generate 2 crore jobs every year. In last 9 years, there should have been 18 crore jobs. As against that, if you are giving a few thousand jobs, you are making a lot of hula and as though, you are obliging the people of this country. Unfortunately, unemployment has grown beyond all bounds, and people without job and with high prices are finding life miserable. The Bharatiya Janata Party should take cognizance of these facts.
Okay, but this is providing jobs to a lot of people who have also applied for these jobs. In fact, the criticism that had come in from the opposition, just want to remind you, saying that it is going to ruin the future of the youth. The promises are going to be broken. The government will be giving weapons into the hands of Jawans for 4 years. These were the kind of ridiculous statements that were made for people who wanted to do something for the country.
See, as far as Jawans are concerned, certainly we would not want any compromise on that. It's always welcome. If you hire Jawans, they are willing for coming forward to serve the nation. We appreciate this exercise. But as far as the providing employment to the people of this country is concerned, it is a peanut. Please ask BJP leaders to answer to the common man's question that where are 2 crore jobs per year? What are you doing, and how unemployment is to be addressed by the current government? These are all our anxieties for the people who are jobless and who are begging, literally.
So, but this is not about the people who are jobless. Those who are applying for these jobs, who want to do something for the country. This is a new scheme that was introduced by the centre. Don't you agree now, at least after this overwhelming response that has come in from the people, that what the opposition had been saying was completely misplaced? That the opposition could not capture the sentiment of the people on ground, because people seem to be happy with it. Those who are applying for these jobs are happy with it. They've applied, they've got through. They're looking forward to serving for the country. And this is something that the opposition should have supported the government for. Now, after the protests have subsided, now after so many have become Agniveers, the first batch of Agniveers, we have it already in the country. Don't you think the opposition should concede that, yes, we had completely misplaced what the public really wants?
Serving the country as Agniveers is most welcome. We appreciate every single Jawan who comes forward and agrees to sacrifice his life for serving and protecting the borders of the country and working as Jawans. Well, this is one part of it. 99% of the people who are seeking job otherwise.
Okay, so you're saying this has still not really solved the problem of unemployment, and that still remains. Yes. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Majid Memon. Also want to bring in Mr. Udit Raj of the Congress Party on the broadcast with us. Mr. Udit Raj, the Prime Minister now addressing the first batch of Agniveers. It's a very significant day for the country, don't you think?
Management and imagine after 4 years, where will they lined up? You see, out of compulsion, they had to accept this job. But this is not...
What is the compulsion? Mr. Udit Raj, what is the compulsion for applying for this job?
Why not? When they are completely unemployed, then it's a part-time employment. And after 4 years, where will they go? And there is a huge unemployment in this country. So it's more than 22 crores. And out of which there are many who are poor, who are compelled to join, whatever they get it. Even engineers, MBA, they are getting a job of 10,000, 15,000. So under majburi mein to kuch bhi kar sakte hain.
Sir, lekin majburi mein kaise hai? In fact, just to put things in perspective, before you accuse me of giving an opinion, there has been an overwhelming response for this scheme. People from across the country have applied for it. If they thought that this was very problematic, if they thought that they were doing something out of desperation, they would not have applied for it.
Because this government has created such a huge number of unemployed, and in desperation they are doing. A person who is dying, a dying person is ready to do
Mr. Udit Raj, though this has been clarified time and again from the government side as well, I just want to remind you again, after the completion of their tenure, 25% of the Agniveers will still be retained or re-enlisted in the regular cadre, while remaining 75% will be they will be demobilized. Apart from that, they will be given preference in a lot of jobs. That has already been clarified time and again. Don't you think at a time like this, when the Agniveers have already been included, they are ready to serve the country, the Prime Minister addressing them, at a time like this, don't you think the opposition should concede that we read the public sentiment wrongly?
Listen, 40,000 had been recruited, out of which 10,000 will be retained. It will be a drop in ocean. And whereas more than 22 crores youths are unemployed. Out of 22 crores, if 10,000 get employed, then isn't it a...
No, no. Sir, this explanation has been given by the centre time and again. Let me just tell you again, the centre has explained that those who have been selected, the Agniveers, will be getting an exit package of over 11 lakh rupees after the 4 years of serving for the government, for the country. They will also be given priority in the government services, including the CAPF, the state police forces. This has already been clarified time and again from the centre. There has been a big response, an overwhelming, a record number of people who have been applying for these jobs as well. I just want to ask you, now that, even the numbers are not on your side, the number of people who have been applying for this job is much greater than even the government's expectation. Will you concede that what the Congress said, what the opposition said was wrong?
What Congress said is completely true now. What happened, the number of unemployed in the country are so huge, so huge. In desperation, they will even take a daily wage job, and even carpenter, electrician, anything, even agricultural worker. What to do?
These are skilled individuals. Mr. Udit Raj, request you not to slight those who are wanting to serve the country, even if it is for 4 years. Though it has been clarified time and again that it's not just about the 4 years. After that as well, they will be given preference. Apart from that,